Hey, everybody. Welcome to Take Five, 5 minutes of devotion, 5 days a week. And today we're going to look at Mark 6 and Psalm 32. For our reading, we're going to look specifically at verses 22 and 25. I'm reading from the New Living Translation. Then his daughter, also named Herodias, came in and performed a dance that greatly pleased Herod and his guests. Ask me for anything you like, the king said to the girl, and I will give it to you. He even vowed, I will give you whatever you ask, up to half my kingdom. She went out and asked her mother, what should I ask for? Her mother told her, ask for the head of John the Baptist. So the girl hurried back to the king and told him, I want the head of John the Baptist right now on a tray. Yikes.
Wow. I know just a few verses later, verse like I think it's 29, they said when John's disciples heard that he had been executed, they came and they picked up his body and buried it. Um, I know that the Bible says the victory belongs to Jesus. We we have always believed that as Christians. That's one of the foundations of who we are as Christians. And I know that in the end, whatever happens to me is to his glory, and we will all share that same heavenly home someday, and that's fine. But like, what about the moment when the disciples had to go and pick up the body of John the Baptist? What, you know, like putting him in the ground and making sure he was buried properly. What a defeating moment. What a horrible time. Just to know he was in Herod's prison must have been bad enough. But then because Herod's wife didn't like the fact that he called her out righteously, it was time for him to die. And I think sometimes it's our responsibility to lean on God to get through these hard times and
Yeah.
still maintain our faith. Because yes, it was hard for the disciples, but imagine how it was for John, to face that mortality for saying and doing right. It's not that they had done wrong and they were facing a consequence. It literally was someone else's evil choice. If I depended on myself, I would surely be lost and I would have no hope. But I believe that if we can stand upon the righteousness of Christ and believe that his strength is going to carry us through even the most discouraging, the most terrible times. You don't read about some of the disciples of Jesus walking away because they saw what happened to John the Baptist.
Right.
They stayed with him. And so many of us do not have the staying power that those initial disciples did because we do see things we don't like, things that are probably wrong and terrible.
Mhm.
How many things have happened around us and we've shaken our heads and said, this is awful. How could Jesus allow this to happen? I'm a disciple, or my look at my friend and what happened to them. That's not right. But it's just the way of the world, and evil will have its day, and we have to stand with Christ, or we're not going to be able to stand for anything, right?
It's true. It's true. And I think it's important that, we do have to lean on God to make it through everything on the highest mountain and the lowest valley and the crisis of our faith. And the reality is that people are people. And that crisis of faith can happen right in the middle of the church because people will fail and they will disappoint. But we've still got to hold on to our faith in God. It's God. We can't get our eyes off of the prize. We can't depend on somebody else. We've got to depend on God and God alone.
It's true. And if I had to say it out loud, I would say I don't think I've ever had a faith crisis. I've never even watching my dad go through cancer and seeing my husband have strokes at a young age and being afraid of the future, I've never once been like, oh, I don't believe in God anymore. Really, the things that have hurt me the worst have been things within the church with other people that I thought were godly people that were close to me. And then I watched the stuff they did and I thought, whoa, that's what shakes us. So, we have to, like you said, keep our eyes on the Lord, but we also have to just shake off the junk that's trying to attach itself to us. Just
Right.
because you messed up, I am not losing my faith. I am not losing out on God because you have done something evil. That is not my problem.
That's
I
right.
have decided long ago that I'm going to make heaven my home no matter what you do or say. You can come or go. That's your deal. It's not my problem. My
Preach it.
problem, yes, my problem starts with where I get all mixed up and I do what feels good to me. I'd
Right.
love to pay a few people back, but you can't do it and you can't dwell on it. So, how
Yeah.
about you out there? I know we have run away. I've stolen this 5 minutes, but is there something you want to put in the comments about this?
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.
See you tomorrow.